Hi, Ron.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just hanging out. I heard that you moved this last week.
I did.
How was that?
It's good. There's a bunch of boxes in my apartment right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Box
great.
City.
Box
Like
Box City. Yeah.
You should make a fort out of it.
I could. I already took a bunch of boxes down to the recycling because I actually live in a populated area that does recycling now, so it's weird.
Nice.
That's
weird.
I have to learn how to recycle.
I have to learn how to be a human with other humans.
Well, Fricky's only ever had garbage.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up in a place that had recycling.
Well,
so
we have garbage come one week and recycling come the next week. Like garbage is every week, I should say, but recycling is every other week here.
With my apartment, it's just 2 bins, so I just throw it in whatever bin. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about taking my trash out to the side of the street or whatever because it's an apartment building.
I do have to do that.
Yeah, because you live in a townhome. So yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Anyway, now that that's the most interesting topic of discussion for this video game podcast.
Yeah, let's talk about this game called Far Cry 5 that nobody cares about, and then we're done.
What the hell is Far Cry?
Yeah, fuck Far Cry. Game sucked.
What even is Far Cry?
So yeah,
what kind of title is that? Are they crying in a faraway place?
They could be. They could be, and this is the 5th time they're doing it. So.
It's 5. Yeah, that seems excessive.
It seems very excessive, but whatever.
I'm sorry.
So yeah.
I hate myself. Anyway, this podcast is about.
We're rage quitters.
We didn't even introduce ourselves. Yeah.
I'm Matt.
I'm Ron.
We talk about video games. This week we're going to review Far Cry 5. All seriousness, I love Far Cry 5. I thought it was really good. So
you loved it?
Yeah. Maybe is the best game I played this year. Excluding Divinity. That was last
that
year.
Doesn't count because that was last year, yeah.
But, yeah. So.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for me, too. Ugh, I'm going to yawn in the middle of that sentence.
That's fine.
So I've had a very sleepy day sitting around and playing God of War.
Oh, yeah, because that came out. And I've been playing it a little bit, too. So that's foreshadowing into next week, though.
That'll be a nice podcast. This one is about Far Cry 5.
Yeah, let's talk about Far Cry on the Far Cry podcast, and then we can talk about God of War and the God of War podcast. Does that sound okay to you?
Is that how it works?
That is usually how it works.
Okay.
So you discussed that you liked it already. I guess I liked it. Too. I said that I already said it's one of the best games I played this year. So this came out last month.
Yeah, it is February. It came out the end of March? God, yeah.
March something.
The very end of March, March 28th or something, 27th.
You want to look it up? March 27th, 2018.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it came out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I played it on PC. I know Ron played it on PC. So,
yep. You bought it on Uplay, I got it on Steam.
Yeah, not that mattered.
It doesn't.
I did get Uplay credits that I can spend on random outfits in the game.
So can I.
I know you can too, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. It launches through Steam. You have the season pass too, right?
Yeah, I did buy the season pass.
Just a forewarning that we don't. The season pass content's not out yet, so we're not going to be discussing any of that stuff. But
right. So this is just the base game.
To buy the season pass.
I guess we could go into a little bit of the story so people know what Far Cry 5 is. Far Cry 5, if you have never heard of a Far Cry game, there's generally one big boss that you fight with a bunch of smaller bosses kind of that you defeat along the way. This setting for Far Cry 5 was you're in Montana, so it was actually in the U.S., which I think is a first for Far Cry game, right? Yeah.
They've all been foreign before.
Foreign. Brazil, I think, was Far Cry 3 or something. I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't remember the actual locations, too.
Me either. It was an island. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Far Cry 5, you're in Montana. Hope County, Montana. I don't know if Hope County is real. I'm assuming it is. And there is a cult there that is pretty much predicting the end of the world, and they're trying to convert people and save them, I guess. That's kind of the gist of it. And they're pretty evil. One area, you have to, tattoo your sin, one of your 7 deadly sins, wrath or sloth or whatever it is, on your body, and then they cut it off.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then one area was like a bunch of people were being kidnapped and drugged, and the other area like people were just high all the time. I don't know. So
yeah, there's some weird. There's a lot of variants in the 3 areas. So that's That's another thing that's first in this game is that the game is actually split into 3 different areas.
Yeah, that never happened in like Far Cry 3.
No, it was
right?
a lot more open in terms of. I guess Far Cry 3 was kind of split in 2. It was like 2 different islands.
Yeah.
But it was the second island was more just like after you beat the first island, like it was just consecutive.
Right.
This one is open in the sense that you can go to any of the 3 regions whenever you want.
Yep.
And fight that region's boss whenever.
So the regions are more like it's not like they're completely different areas. It's all one big area, but the regions like. Basically, if you do something in that region, you get points towards it, is all it is. So, and they're slightly different, like the different structures to destroy and, just different, maybe like side missions in each area. But for the most part, they're pretty much like is open, like what Ron was saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should say that I've only ever played Far Cry 3 before this.
And you didn't even beat Far Cry 3, right?
And I didn't even beat it.
Yeah.
So I figure that might be useful information for the listeners, I guess.
I have played 3, 4, and now 5. So I've played.
Did you play Primal?
I played like an hour and a half of Primal before I decided I didn't like it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I beat 3 twice. I played 3 through twice, and I've beaten 4 only once. So.
Cool. All right. So should we get into our sub points? Or I guess. I can just go over quick. What we do to review these games, we kind of have like pivotal points that we go over. In this case, it's going to be graphics, sound, gameplay, narrative, and then we have our own personal bias. And that all is going to go over to an overall score out of 50. And then like some other games, we've gotten pretty good scores. Some games like pretty average. And I will say, like, a 5 out of 10 is average for us. It's not like a 5 out of 10 is complete crap. That's just, like, your average run-of-the-mill game, I guess. Whereas, like, a 7 or an 8 is, like, pretty damn good to, like, above average. Or, like, if it's complete trash, it's going to be, like, a 2 or a 3. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, with that being said, let's get into graphics, I guess, for Far Cry.
Cool, yeah. So yeah, we discussed the graphics, the textures, and the animations in the game. Anything related to how the game looks. So, what did you think? I thought the game was really pretty. Nothing like extraordinary, but it was very pretty.
It looked great. I think maybe part of the setting kind of took away from it a little bit because, like, I don't know if you felt the same way, but I was kind of getting sick of just being in a forest all the time.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, the same can be said about Far Cry 3 with the island, but it would have been better if the regions themselves were a little bit more varied in there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of what Montana is, and I get that, but
I mean, it's for the realism of it.
It is.
Check and respect, so I'm not going to complain about that.
And that's just a small complaint, because the game, like, I don't even know if that goes under graphics, I guess, but...
Yeah.
No, the game looked really good, I thought.
Especially
like
maxing
even
out the settings on our good GPUs, it looked really good.
Yeah,
it also ran way better than previous Far Cry's have at launch, in my opinion. At least Far Cry 4 ran like crap on my computer when it launched, but 5 ran like butter.
Yeah, it ran really well. I even thought like, I guess I don't know what the frames were on my computer, but like even getting in like a helicopter or like a plane didn't seem to like lessen the detail that much.
Yeah.
Like, I know games kind of have, like, that's kind of hard to do. Like, your viewing distance just goes massive, right? When you go up in the air. But, I don't know. I thought it looked good, and I didn't notice any stuttering, so.
Yep. Yeah, I got like 60 to 100 frames pretty much the whole game, so.
Yeah.
Kind of a vary, but depending upon what I was doing, obviously, so.
It's also, this is, like, texture, like, graphics specifically is kind of hard for me to judge, because all games nowadays look great. So I don't know. Is that just average then? You know what I mean? Like if we're comparing it to...
It could just be style too. Like how do we feel about the graphic style that they went with, right? Like, cause like there could be something that has lower graphics, Like, not as
Yeah.
fancy looking graphics, but it has a really
Like
good
Mario
style that we
or
could,
something.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or Zelda.
So,
That came out last
it's-
year.
I think that's more what we're discussing versus like how beautiful it looked. But,
No. So, I don't know. I thought that, like, the textures themselves were really good. And then as far as, like, animations, I guess I didn't really notice anything bad. Like, even the animations for the bear was pretty good. The bear and because you can get, like, Guns for Hire, right? And you have the bear, the puma.
I'll just say the animation of hitting someone in the head with a shovel is probably my favorite thing.
Oh,
in
so
the
good.
game.
Yeah. Shovels are
Or
the most...
better yet, throwing the shovel and letting it stick into their face as they die.
Shovels are the best weapon of the game, by the way. Yeah. So...
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the game was beautiful. I don't have anything really to complain about that. The
Agree.
environment itself is great. A little bit stale sometimes, repeating the same kind of looking stuff
Yeah.
throughout the whole map, but nothing really worth complaining that much about, to be honest.
I don't want to spoil too much because we'll talk about this in the story, but, like, the ending was even really good. Or, like, you know, so... I don't know. It was good. Do you want to give a score? Or do you want to talk more?
No, I'm good with the score.
Okay. Go for it.
Go with an 8.
Okay. That's pretty good. I was going to go with a 7.
Sure.
Just because, like I said, like, all games are, like, pretty good nowadays, right? So it's hard to... It's hard for me to, like, say it's leagues above, like... I can't think of another game that came out recently that is realistic graphics, I guess.
I mean, if we're talking this year, almost nothing.
Right. I mean, I kind of God of War, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
It's not, like, significantly better than what God of War looks like, from what I can tell.
I think God of War looks better, personally. But...
Maybe, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, graphics, didn't blow me away, but it was still really good, so. Alright. Next we'll go with sound, and we're going to kind of break this up the best we can into the music, the score, the sound effects, and the voice acting. I wouldn't...
Go ahead.
Alright, I was going to say right away, I really thought it was cool that the 3 different regions had, like, their own kind of sound style.
All their music was different.
It's just,
in each region.
like, different. It's kind of in the same, like, the same style of music, but just different music, and it was cool. So
yeah, whenever you take an outpost, the song is different in each region that plays after you beat the outpost.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're called. Is it outpost? Is that right?
Yeah, no, it was an outpost.
Okay.
Maybe we should talk a little bit. I don't even think we've talked about that, but, like, to take down these bosses, you need to, like, do these missions, and they ranged from taking outposts to, like, destroying cult structures to saving civilians, basically, right?
Maybe we should discuss gameplay first next time.
I'm thinking that too.
Just a thought. In the middle of a podcast, as we
we can let's make a note for next time to do that. I think we should finish up sound though, since we started talking about it.
But yeah, I really like how all the loading screen music was different too in each region, plus the fact that there is a different loading screen in each. I think especially Jacob's area has really, really good music in the loading screen.
So I didn't even realize the loading screen was different until, like, probably halfway through my playtime.
Yeah.
Because I spent, like, a lot of my time in the first area, right? And, like, all of a sudden I switched to a new area. The music's different. The loading screen was different. That was really cool. I don't know.
Yep.
I just wasn't expecting that, but it was pretty cool. So.
Another thing I'll commend as well is I think the voice acting is really good. They're good at having these creepy ass characters that freak you out in terms of the cultist leaders. Specifically, I don't know about the minions because none of those really have anything menacing about them. But the
cult minions,
the girl, Faith, and Jacob, and John, all of those guys are really creepy. Especially what's the boss's name?
The
big bad guy. I can't remember his name for some reason. I remember all the minions.
Jacob, John, Faith.
Isn't it something Joseph?
Joseph, yeah, Joseph.
Okay.
God.
I think he especially had a really good voice actor. Like all of
them are really good.
Whenever you beat the bosses and like they played a little scene with him talking. Oh my god, very menacing.
Yeah, very menacing. And, like, the scene was set up to, like, he was talking to the cultists, right? Like, almost like he's doing a TV show. Because, like, right away you see, like, them like if you go into a house or whatever, like they're on TV, like whatever sub boss you're fighting, or even Joseph himself. So yeah, that was just really unique. I don't know.
Has been broken.
What?
The seal has been broken. That's what I said.
Oh yeah, the seal has been broken. God, that'll come into later too. Anyway, as far as like sound though, and I guess even as far as animation, like I thought like everyone's animation was really good. Even like I kind of mentioned this, but like the companions you get are decent. Like,
Yeah,
animations. So
I mean, they were a little annoying sometimes. If we're talking back to how they functioned, just in terms of them being in my way all the time. But
yeah, so like even the voice acting, like it really kind of makes me mad when you're playing a game and you have a companion and they like I noticed it in God of War already with the stupid kid, but like even in Far Cry, like they kind of just can be annoying. Like they just say a lot of stuff that they don't need to say,
yeah.
right? Like the sniper girl, I can't think of her name. Well, like if you headshot someone, she'll be like, "Oh, that's what a shot" or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
No, I know what you're saying.
You don't need to do that.
They don't need to like compliment themselves. Maybe like after each fight, they could say something about it.
Yeah, like after you do an outpost or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. I got a little annoyed with that. It wasn't major, but I feel like I'm nitpicking the game a
it's
little
kind
bit.
of like it's similar to like the time keep moving and when we turned to do it in the Blast Corps.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that.
It's just a little bit.
You're just trying to impress me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like overall, like I don't think the music. I didn't notice the music that much.
Well, I noticed it to the point that like I debate like downloading this soundtrack for it because it seems like it's really good. People on Reddit, there was a thread on Reddit talking about how the soundtrack is something really special, like how good it is.
Interesting. I guess, yeah.
I might have to download and listen to it. I listened to a couple of the tracks on YouTube and I was like, damn. So
yeah, definitely. I don't know, me and you definitely have different, like, you would pay attention to music more than I do in games.
Yeah, I definitely listen to music more in games than I think a lot of other people do. So.
Anyway, yeah, so, I don't know, music was really good, I didn't notice it, so it must have been pretty good. Like, when I don't notice music, I think it's good in a game. If I notice music and it's, not great, I'm like, oh my god, this is great, or it's more like, oh my god, I'm really annoyed by this music right now. So, anyway, but yeah, sound effects were pretty good, like firing guns, explosions, helicopter, plane, I don't know, like, it just, everything felt right as far as sound went for me, I guess.
I agree, yeah, there was nothing really to complain about. It had its share of Ubisoft bugs, but nothing horrible.
Yeah. Alright.
And some sound glitches.
Ready to score? Yeah. I'm gonna go 7 again.
Okay.
God, why did that just do that? Anyway, yeah, 7. Just because, like I said, it didn't like blow me away by any means, but I didn't necessarily notice it, and I really enjoyed the fact that like each area kind of had its own different style, I guess, as far as music went. So. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8. I just think the music itself was really, really good. And the voice acting is really good. The sound effects, I don't know. Kind of all the stuff that we talked about summarized. Yeah. I just feel like it's a little bit above a lot of the other games I've played lately. So
sure, that's fair.
Neat.
All right, so next gameplay. So yeah, gameplay. I don't even know where to begin in gameplay. So we kind of talked about how like you have to do these submissions. And I shouldn't even say that those are because we mentioned like destroying cult structures, freeing outposts and stuff like that, but there's also like unique character missions as well that you can help your companions with, or some of them aren't companions, they're just like NPCs that are pretty big in the game. That like, I don't know, one is like liberating a water treatment plant, so like, because in the drug area they were putting drugs in the water or whatever, so you wanted to stop that. Which, by the way, really cool. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you go into the water and swim in that area, you get like high off those drugs, and then once you stop it stops. You don't you can go in the water and it's not a problem. So
that was the case in a lot of the different areas with all the bliss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like cool things like that. as far as gameplay goes. And then like obviously it's Far Cry, so the gunplay is amazing.
Yeah.
You can upgrade your guns, just similar to pretty much any game. Like it literally is like a Call of Duty menu where you can like put silencers and shit on guns, basically.
Yep. It's similar to all the other Far Cries in terms of that stuff.
Mhm.
I would say this one's a little bit more in depth because they have a lot more gun variety, I think, than the other games.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like the fact that you can have like shovels and bow and arrows and stuff, and then you can also like do pistols and then LMGs and then like you just have all that
Grenade
stuff.
launchers, rocket launchers,
Alien gun.
flamethrowers, alien gun. Yeah.
Did you ever actually get a kill with alien gun? By the way,
I never even unlocked it.
Oh.
I wanted to go back to it,
and then you just haven't yet.
I got
that quest is really fun. So
yeah. I did like the first mission in it where
Yeah.
I went to go out and get the little things out in the field with the sheep or cow. I don't even know.
cows.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Is it cows? Yeah.
Yeah. So I should just say that like those side missions like were super fun. Just all of them were just
They're
amazing.
fun. Yeah. There's a lot of them, which
Yeah.
was probably. It was awesome that there's that much content, but it was almost overwhelming. And there was at a point it got to the point where some of the missions are just repeated. Not repeated exactly, but they're just kind of the same thing going over
Sure.
and over again, which is kind of a similar Ubisoft kind of thing that just kind of happens. But I will say that this game had more variety than other games that Ubisoft has made.
I think they could have.
similar to this.
I'm nitpicking again. Like, but I agree with you. Like, they could have like done away with like the destroy cult structures or something like that in each area. Like, you didn't need all that because there's already so much to do in the game. Like, you just drive down the road and like you come across 15 different like cult like things going on that you don't have to take care of, but you can, right? Like, you don't need all of that in the game.
Yeah.
But
we should talk about that.
We
So
can.
my biggest complaint is that there's just too much happening in the game.
yeah,
So like anywhere you go, you're gonna like say you're trying to be sneaky and like sneak up on someone, or you're trying to do like a mission.
Mhm.
You're gonna find people like no matter where you are. You're gonna find a plane flying above you, attacking you. You're gonna find not necessarily people, but you're gonna find stuff.
yeah,
There's going to be animals attacking you.
Yep.
There's going to be people being attacked by animals that you have to
Yep.
try to save. There's constant stuff going on, which is kind of, I mean, it's cool that there's that much content, but it feels very artificial in the sense that it's just the same shit over and over again.
it does. It is nice though to counterpoint this that once you kind of liberate an area or start liberating an area, that goes down dramatically.
Yeah.
Like I was driving around the first area after I like completed it, and like I didn't get as distracted, I should say, because
Yeah.
that stuff just distracts you from like doing your mission or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As I did before.
I just had it like interrupt my gameplay a couple times. Where I was in the middle of doing something and then I got pulled into something else because someone else just randomly spotted me.
Well, yeah, that happens all the time, and that kind of pissed me off too. Like I'd be trying to like I don't know free some civilians or whatever, and I'm on a road, and all of a sudden like 4 different cult people show up, just out of the blue. So you have to kill them too. There's so much to the fact that it's annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. So
Yeah, there was one mission in particular where you're supposed to drive around a tractor and like run them into cows as they're banging each other.
yeah,
And it plays like sexual feeling. It plays that song while that's happening. And then a plane spotted me and started shooting at me, and all the cows ran away. So
nice, very
in the
nice.
middle of that mission, it was good.
You're like, God damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the planes are really annoying.
It ruined the funniness of that.
Did you, while we're kind of on the funniness topic, did you do the side mission where you're helping the director with a movie?
Yes, I did the first one of those. I didn't do the second one.
There's only one, I think.
No, he called me and said I have more work for you.
Oh, there might be. I don't know. The jokes were hilarious though, because he's like shooting a Blood Dragon movie.
Yeah.
And
there was a lot of self-deprecating humor.
Yeah, it was
like in the game on Ubisoft.
Yeah, it was pretty funny actually.
Which I thought was cool. Like in the first area at the very beginning of the game, you climb a tower, and he's like, "Don't worry, I won't be having you climbing these towers all over town."
Oh yeah, exactly.
Which is a Ubisoft trait to have them climb towers and discover waypoints and stuff.
You mean Assassin's Creed?
Well, it's both.
That's
Far
what
Cry
it
and
started.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it started at Far Cry, but
I think it started Assassin's Creed. But yeah, it's been in Far Cry 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Probably the first two as well, but I don't know.
No. So yeah, I really actually liked the way that they there wasn't like a tower to go to. You just kind of explored by yourself.
Yeah, no, the way that they had you just drive out and do whatever the hell you wanted was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought that kind of made it better.
I even liked that, like, if you wanted to be like in a plane and drive around and spot things, you had to be like close enough to the ground to see them too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you couldn't just like be in a helicopter, fly all the way up, and just fly around.
You can't discover the map if you're actually in the helicopter, by the way. Like, it doesn't...
If you're close enough to the ground, you do.
It doesn't ungray it. You can discover waypoints, but it still doesn't...
Oh, is that all it is?
Maybe that's right. Like, the map is gray.
Yeah, that could be right. I mean, I don't disagree. So
I only know that because I did it a lot to try to discover all the,
sure.
the towers as I flew around.
And then I really liked, like, the Clutch Nixon things were great.
Oh, those are fun, yeah.
They're just like...
some that were really hard.
Which one did you think was the hardest that you did?
There was one... It was a parachuting one.
Parachuting or wingsuiting?
Wingsuiting, sorry. Yeah,
that one took me a little bit.
Where you had to go around the mountain like a bunch of times. That one was really hard.
It took me forever to realize that I didn't have to hold down the W key to go forward in the wingsuit.
Exactly. So what I actually did was I stopped pressing it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, holy shit, this is how you do this. And then
You know what I actually did to make it better was I stopped touching my mouse. I centered it.
Oh,
and then I stopped touching my mouse so that when you were moving left and right, you could actually see where you were going instead of having to, like, you're moving your mouse around. You don't really know. Yeah.
I didn't
what's forward and what's backward.
After I figured out the W thing, it was a lot easier for me. But I started using wingsuit all the time after that because every time before I did that, like, I just went straight into the ground and I was like, how the fuck do you use this thing?
It's super fun to go really high up and just jump down
and just jump. Everywhere. Yep, I agree. Yeah, that was really fun. So there was also one mission. I don't know if you did it. I don't know. This is kind of just on a tangent now, but it's fine. Where you have to, like, go up and repair radio towers.
Mm-hmm.
That one was. Yep. That one's like, because you can wingsuit all over the place, but then, like, the final one was like, I just couldn't figure out how to get up that mountain. It pissed me the fuck off.
No, I know what you mean.
But anyway.
But yeah, the game is just an awesome sandbox. We didn't talk about this either, but Far Cry 5 also has something called Far Cry Arcade in it.
I never played, by the way. Didn't even open it up.
I literally played one thing of it, so I don't have a lot of experience either. But basically, it's a map editor that people can go in and create their own levels. They can create multiplayer maps. There's like team deathmatch type things. I think there's even a battle royale stuff people have made in it, which is kind of cool.
I'm not surprised.
Might be worth checking out. Yeah. But yeah, I've heard really positive things about it. People have recreated all the maps from all the other games that are popular, obviously, as they do. Like, I think I saw Nuketown on there or something like that.
Of course, yeah.
And I think that's super cool that they're supporting that. They're going to have, when the DLC comes out for the Season Pass, they're going to be adding content to that as well, including other games. You can, because I think right now the assets are Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, Unity. I don't remember which one. One of the Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah.
And Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Sure. Yep.
So,
I think that's right.
But they're going to be adding assets from the new stuff that comes out as well as other games. I think they were saying so. Should be pretty cool to see how that goes. If I'm liking Ubisoft as they're doing this games as a service thing.
Yeah, I think they're better now than what they used to be. They're not just
they're supporting their games in a way that they didn't used to do. Right?
Yeah,
instead of doing yearly releases, they're just continuing to support games for free or through your season pass or cheaper season pass, right?
Another thing that we should mention that we didn't use, the game's completely co-op, so you can hop in with a friend and help him out with his missions.
Yeah, we didn't play it that way at all.
We didn't.
I've heard it's really fun if you do play it.
I think what we should do, Ron, is when the DLC comes out, we should do that as co-op. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
especially the zombie one, because I probably won't want to play that one alone.
Yeah, that's fair. So, anyway. So yeah, game mechanics, or gameplay. Do you have anything else, I guess?
I feel like I had stuff. The fishing is kind of surprisingly fun. It's relaxing.
I couldn't figure out the fishing. I didn't really like it that much, but
Sure.
it was really fun.
It was a lot of pulling the mouse like left and right, which was strange, but it felt like actual fishing, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fly fishing, but it was not like true fly fishing, but kind of true fly. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So,
is there anything else I'm missing? Oh, the what's the things where you get like a treasure map? Not necessarily a treasure map, but you go somewhere on the map and you try to locate the treasure.
oh, the prepper
Yeah, prepper stashes.
prepper stash. Yep, those are cool.
Those are really cool.
Those
There's
are
a lot of
super cool.
those. That's kind of their replacement for like random little things on the map, little random collectibles.
Yeah. Well, there's still random collectibles to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like the records and then like the cheeseburger.
Yeah, but those are all related to a mission as
Yeah.
well. So there's a side mission for them. So,
yeah. So I will say that when we were talking earlier about how much stuff there was to do, it's really annoying. I was getting really annoyed at the beginning of the game when like people like would give you the locations of the prepper stashes or like locations of people to go talk to for like the character side missions or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that just came from people randomly on the side of the road essentially.
Yeah.
That was super annoying. And then like you get to a point where you have most of them picked up, like the locations picked up, and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
Which seemed a little bit weird.
It seems strange that they gave it basically through RNG, gave all the missions away. I mean, it's cool.
It is
but
super
it's also
cool.
Very strange. It's weird that I just imagine was difficult to maybe program. I don't know. They just probably have a random pool and they give you a random one in it.
They should have just done ones from that like region that you were in.
Does that make
sense? I'm positive they don't because at the third region and mostly through the second region, I didn't have any of that. The people giving me that stuff and had most of the map locations ready.
Sure.
Because like in the first region, I literally stopped for every single person that I saw that had like a prepper stash like icon above their head or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I have anything else. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about. The gameplay is just really fun. That's probably what has pulled me back into Far Cry every time, is that it's fun to run around in the world and kill stuff and
I agree.
Throw shovels at people's faces.
Yeah,
and
it's super good.
Like seriously, it was fun to you threw the shovel across a field and hit someone in the face with it. It's the best.
It's fun because like it's kind of realistic in the fact that like a lot of the guns are realistic and stuff, and then like there's just some ridiculous stuff like throwing the shovel and just one-shotting people, for example, or the alien gun or whatever. Mm-hmm. The alien gun just explodes people, as far as I understand. But super, yeah, I agree with that 100%. So
nice.
Okay, ready to give a score?
Yep.
Okay. I think you are first this time. So.
Okay. I'm gonna go... Oh my god. I'm really debating, to be honest.
Do you want me to go? Is that going to help you?
If you're ready...
I'm going to give it a 10.
Holy shit.
Really? Is that way too high for you? Okay, I'm going to say this. This is the most fun, gameplay-wise, I've had a game like, in a long time. That's why it's getting a 10.
So maybe my issue is that I felt that way probably a couple 3 weeks ago when I played it, and now I've played since then 2 games I consider to be way better. Yeah, gameplay wise. So maybe that's why it has not necessarily soured it, but it looks pale in comparison.
Maybe.
But that being said, it's still extremely fun, and I wanted to go back to it before I started God of War, but I just beat Ni no Kuni like the night before God of War came out, so yeah. I didn't really have time. So I'm gonna go, and I probably still will go back and play the rest of the side missions at some point, plus the DLC.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with 9.
Nice. Yeah.
I was debating between 8 and 9, to be honest. So
okay.
I'm just gonna go with 9.
Well, you can give it an 8. I'm not gonna get you offended. But
I know.
I just like, this is the most fun I've had in a game in a long time. Like probably since, I don't want to say Horizon last year, but that maybe is, I don't know what else. I mean, Divinity was fun.
Yeah.
But this was more fun gameplay wise, I think, than Divinity, in my opinion.
I think so too, yeah. It's just fun to run around in the world.
and just shoot people, and like it's just so satisfying to just like headshot people with like whatever, a pistol, like I don't know, just it was really good. So all right, let's talk about the story, Ron.
The narrative.
So we can talk about the characters. We've talked a little bit about the characters already, but like the companions you get all have like their unique quest line.
Mm-hmm. We should preface this by saying you start the game going to arrest Joseph.
Yes.
And bring him back for crimes of like kidnapping. I think was the
basically just whatever the hell you can get a cult leader for. You're going to charge him with. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So you came with your sheriff, the sheriff of the town, I think, and then the rest of your team. There's like 2 other people with you as well, a girl and a guy. And so you go to arrest him. You try to arrest him, and then you put him in your plane, and everybody just tackles your plane and takes it down, and like you all get separated and kidnapped and stuff, and it gets that's basically the opening of the game. So I don't feel like I'm spoiling too much, but
I mean, we should just say from here on out.
I mean,
there's spoilers,
narrative, so there'll be spoilers.
Because I'm going to talk about the ending of the game.
For sure.
Not right now, but like need to. So.
But essentially, the rest of the game then is you trying to take down the cult / save your members or save your other police officer type members. So sheriff and your other people. So.
Well, and then you meet people along the way that kind of help you out, and then you do things for them, and just it's one of those things.
And just to help kind of liberate the town, because there's a rebellion against the cult as well that you kind of end up joining. So, but that's the opening of the game. I just kind of wanted to set that setting straight. So, the characters that you come with, they all have interesting personalities, which was surprising to me because usually it's just. I guess it's not that surprising because it was the same way in Far Cry 3 with the people that you came with, your brother and your girlfriend and your brother's girlfriend, all those people. And I guess I would say that Far Cry 3 was a little better in that regard than these characters, but these were still very likable characters, or interesting characters, I should say.
I agree with that. Sorry, I've been trying to find the song that they use to brainwash you in, because I was going to use that later, and I can't for life of me remember what the song is. So, anyway, the characters, that'll come in later. We can talk about that when it gets time. Characters are really good. Even, like, did you say anything about the bosses yet?
I didn't.
Even, like, the bosses were really good. Like, I mean, I don't remember. So, was Jacob the younger one?
Of the bosses? Jacob was...
the younger brother.
Was he the younger one?
So, there's
I thought he was the older one because he was, like, the military guy.
Oh, yeah, and then...
And John was the...
younger one.
Yes guy.
Yeah. So... John was the first boss I did, and I didn't really feel like he had a ton of character, but then I got to Faith, and, like, Faith was just super insane. I don't know.
So Faith creeped me out, yeah.
Faith really creeped me out, I agree with that. And then Jacob, the older one, even had, like, it had more than John, but not as much as Faith, like, thanks, Ron, for the song name. So I don't know. I feel like Faith was probably meant to be the last one in the game, just because she had like the most story background. I don't know. She really creeped me out, dude.
John is very clearly designated to be the first one, because they literally tell you to go do John's first
right away.
Yeah. But I always saw. I guess the way I feel like I played it is the way that you're supposed to play it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Which was John, Faith, and then Jacob.
Maybe.
And I say that because one of the endings is specifically based around Jacob's story. There's 2 endings to the game. I don't know if you saw the second one.
Well, I did, but yes. I know what you mean. Yeah,
that's why
I was like, what?
I feel like
that's why I was looking up the song, by the way.
Because then it's more fresh in your brain. I feel like is the reason they
maybe
want that to
maybe
happen.
that is what it is. So, let's talk about the setting slightly. We already talked to some Montana and everything, but I think it's a great setting for like today's America. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I don't know. It like fit perfectly with what's going on in the world today.
I kind of feel like there was some nods to Trump even being president. Like, weirdly enough, there was some political stuff involved.
There was. Did you do the... Oh,
of course you did. Like the leaders. You think the leaders out there are going to be good?
Yeah, stuff like that. And like, did you do the... You did the mission with... What was it? Hulk or whatever his name was? Herc, yeah.
Yeah.
And his dad.
His dad, so the political campaign thing.
The political campaign.
Make Montana great again.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. So, yeah.
But there was one point when I think one of the cultists was like, he was just like, have you seen who's in charge out there? Basically.
Yeah. Well, and then, I don't know if that's any specific political figure, just politics.
I think that was just kind of shitting on politics in general. But
yeah.
So, the system.
Yeah. So, I guess I'm ready to talk about the ending of the...
Yeah, we can do that. So basically, you go through the game, you take down each of the siblings of Joseph, Faith, John, and Jacob.
Yep.
And, it's Jacob, John, okay. You take all of them down, and then you get to a final confrontation with Joseph, and you can talk about the rest of it, Matt, if you want.
So, in the final confrontation with Joseph, the final boss, essentially you have two choices. He gives you basically the choice to walk away or the choice to resist and fight, right? I chose resist and fight, and I believe Ron did as well, yeah.
Which is like the good ending, I think, really. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the good ending.
I say good ending because it's actually like doing the right thing.
It is doing the right thing. I agree with that. So let's start by talking what happens if you walk away.
Yeah, so if you walk away, you end up just leaving with the sheriff and the other couple people.
And everyone's kind of freaking out, like, we did all this just for you to walk away. Yeah. And then you get into a pickup with the sheriff and somebody else in the back. I can't remember who.
We didn't talk about the mechanic at the top area at all.
The top area?
We didn't talk about... I mean, this isn't going to make sense until we explain that Jacob... what happened at the top with Jacob's area.
Okay, rewind then.
Song playing,
all right.
Yeah.
So, in Jacob's area, Jacob's whole thing is like... each boss kind of had their own thing. Like, with Faith, you... Like
it was the bliss.
It was the bliss, and you kind of would get into this high, and she would appear to you in the bliss and talk to you, and like you'd have to do these things. And then in Jacob's area, which by the way, I just kind of wanted to talk about Jacob's area, I guess. Jacob's area, he brainwashes you into this song. It's Only You. I don't know who it's by, but it's kind of an older song. Mm-hmm. And when the song goes on, you kind of like go into this like you pass out essentially, and then you wake up, and he trains you in that area to basically kill people. He's like, you have to start killing these people. So you go through, and there are always, of course, cultists, and you go through, and then basically at the end, there's one last person you have to kill, and then it stops. So you're going through this. It's essentially like, I kind of think of it like a training range that you'd go through like in a war game.
Oh yeah. Imagine like the Call of Duty like beginning of the game training type things. That's kind of what this plays like.
Yeah. So this happens one time, and then after you reach like, I don't know, a third of the rep that you have to get to the end of to fight the final boss, and it happens again at like half and a half again like at the end, right? So and then at the end of the last time you do it, when you're ready to basically kill Jacob, you kill I noticed
resistance leader.
You're killing resistance people, so like your friends, and then you kill a resistance leader at the end. That's the final thing. So basically, you brainwashed you into killing your going in, breaking into this base, and then killing everybody, and then killing the resistance leader,
which was really cool. I think.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't see it coming at all. But
I did because they foreshadow it pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of noticed they foreshadow, like, the guy that's helping you in that area when you get captured is like, don't let it happen a third time or whatever, or something bad's going to happen. So I kind of figured out right away that the last time something bad was going to happen. I didn't really know why. And then I literally stopped before I killed the last person. I was like, well, this sucks. And I tried to not kill it, but anyway. So that's in the last area that we did, or Jacob's area. So then fast forward to the end of the game. You walk away, The sheriff's like, okay, let's go. People are kind of freaking out, like, what the hell are you doing? And then you get in a pickup with the sheriff, and he's like, we're going to go down to Missoula, which it must be like some big city in Montana, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway, to get the National Guard to come down here and kill all these people, essentially, or arrest these people. And then as he's saying that, he turns on the radio, the song Only You comes on, and you kind of go into that brainwashed state again, and the game ends.
Yeah, and the game just ends. Right
so, you kind of think that maybe you just killed the two people in the pickup that were with you, or I guess maybe not. I don't know. That's up for debate, I guess.
Yeah.
So that is...
That was basically the bad ending.
That is basically the ending that you would choose if you wanted a bad ending of you're walking away, you're not going to fight Joseph at the end. Okay.
So the other ending, when you resist, essentially what happens is that Joseph just gets really confrontational with you, and behind your three people, you're the sheriff and those other guys, which were kidnapped, by the way, and are like sitting there ready to be killed.
Bliss, like, controlled as well. Some of them are.
Well, that's what I was about to say, is that behind them comes all of your other companions throughout the game, all the other people, the Resistance members, basically, who are manipulated by Bliss right now, and then they manipulate your three people, the sheriff and those other guys. Who, through a series of gameplay loops, you have to down and then revive, as if you were playing co-op, I believe.
Yeah, you're basically killing those members and then reviving them, helping them up yourself to get them out of this brainwashed state.
Yep, so it does that like 3 times as you're fighting Joseph as well. And you have to basically save all of your people, to the point that there's like 16 people on your team.
Yep. No.
As you're fighting Joseph.
11,
cool.
I think.
Is it 11? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I guess they don't include the bears or any of the animals.
Yeah, they don't do the bears. Yeah, they don't do the bear, puma, or dog.
But yeah, and then you get to the very end, and you've taken him down, and I think you're about to arrest him, finally. And
you put handcuffs on him.
Yeah, you put handcuffs on him, and then suddenly, behind him, a nuke goes off.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, all this is happening while Joseph is like basically reciting.
He's singing. What the hell?
He's singing hymns, and he's
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace, yeah, and he's also reciting like Bible verses from Revelations in the Bible. So basically, he's predicting the end of the world, and then it happens. Bomb goes off in the background. Everyone's kind of freaking the fuck out, like you'd expect if a nuclear bomb just went off in the background. You run into a pickup. You're driving away. It's a chase scene where the chase is the bombs against you, essentially.
Yeah, I think it's just a timed thing.
And the further you go on, like, the more bombs are going off, and like everything's on fire, and you're trying to essentially get to a bunker because there's preppers all over the place. The bunker of like the friend that's kind of been helping you out through the entire game that you meet right away. And then basically, so yeah, you go through this chase scene, and a tree falls on your pickup. So you kind of black out. You wake up. You notice your companions are dead. Joseph is nowhere to be seen until he basically picks you up.
Yep, you pass out again, and then you awaken in the bunker with the guy that's been helping you since the beginning on the ground, presumably dead next to you. And then look up and see that Joseph has handcuffed you and taken you prisoner, and says that you're his new family because you murdered his family, and they'll when the world is ready to be created, or when mankind's ready to be repopulated, that you guys will emerge
and help, essentially. And then so something really kind of, I don't know, unique or different is like somebody on Reddit said, This gave me a whole new meaning because I was playing as a female character, which is a little freaky.
Oh, yeah.
If you think of it that way. But,
yeah, I guess I don't know how that works with the guy character, but it's creepier with the girl, yeah.
But, yeah. So, that's the resistant fight ending. Technically, what I would consider the good choice but the bad ending, I think, is what I'm gonna
say. I mean, both endings suck, to be honest. Both endings are, like, bad in terms of what happens.
Yeah. But, so, should we go into, like, the theory behind this at all?
You can. I know less about the Bible stuff.
I don't necessarily know that all either, but basically, this entire game is you're doing, like, you're basically causing the Book of Revelations to happen, and I don't know what all it is. You're, like, killing the 4 horsemen, and the 4 horsemen are supposedly, like, the sub-bosses or whatever. I don't know.
Yep.
But anyway, basically what happens is, like, when you walk away, and they're going to go get the National Guard to kill everyone, the world doesn't end because you're not you're the chosen one, and if you're not actually committing the act of killing Joseph, then none of the bad, like, the world doesn't end.
Yeah.
But if you're the actually one committing those acts, then the world does end. So resisting and fighting, you actually ended the world. And if you walked away, you actually didn't. Is what I read on Reddit.
Yeah. So essentially, it's from the Bible that there's, like, these 7 seals. Is it 7 seals?
Yeah, 7 seals.
And it's interesting because even in game, every time something happens, like you kill a boss or something, or even when you first arrived, he's like, a seal has been broken. Like, which seems like exactly what they were trying to kind of lead
and he says that kind of like in the, like, once you kill a boss, we kind of mentioned how there's a scene with just Joseph talking, and he says that in those scenes. So it's very obvious that that's what they were going for, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. It made it a little bit cooler for me, like, in terms of liking the ending. I was, like, pissed at the ending at first.
I hated it too, and then I was
because I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
And then I saw basically the theory on Reddit, and I was like, "Okay, this makes sense." And supposedly, even at the end, after you kill the final boss, if you go onto the radio, they start talking about how, like, bombs are going off in, like, the U.S. and Russia and stuff.
Yep.
So that's even foreshadowing that even more, because once you, like, kill the final boss, you've already set, like, the events in motion. So interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of that's a lot of narrative. I think we talked about the ending for a while, but
all right, let's give it a score.
Yeah, I'm ready to score it.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.
Ooh, okay.
So I enjoyed it, and obviously I liked it a little bit more. It was more like a 5 for me at first, but then after hearing the
ending,
the theories, I was like, oh, that's cool. That made it a little bit better for me. But it's still, I mean, it's still not the best. I think Far Cry's story has never really mattered that much. 3 had the best story, and that's just because it was Voss. Voss is such a good character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was good, but not amazing. So
sure. So I will say that I thought the ending was pretty okay. I didn't hate it right away before I knew, like, the theory behind it. I was actually, like, kind of okay with it because I kind of liked that it wasn't, like, a happy, good feeling ending, I guess, which kind of, I don't know, seems right in a way for this game, but I don't know. Yeah. And then I learned the theory behind it, and it got even better for me. So I'm actually going to give this an 8.
Okay.
It could have been maybe a little bit better story-wise. It clearly wasn't it was a story-driven game in a sense, like, I don't know, it just is weird. I don't even know how to explain it right now.
It's like, my biggest problem is they played up, like, a lot of the religious stuff and, like, the story in itself being, like, amazing, but I didn't think it was amazing at any point in time. I just thought it was good.
Not until the end when you realize what was happening, I guess. I don't know. So I kind of want to replay it now. Now that I know what I know. I'm not going to, but, like, I think the game would maybe be more enjoyable.
I think so too. All right. So we want to talk about our favorite part of the game and the.
Sure, I'm just going to mention them quickly because we kind of talked about them at length.
Yeah.
So
we kind of probably already. Yeah.
My favorite part is, I think, the endings.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I know I gave it, like, an 8, but I really want to see, like, bad endings more in video games.
Sure.
And then my biggest complaint is kind of just there's just so much going on at certain points. So
So I was gonna say my favorite part is definitely throwing a shovel at somebody's face. Like that's just the game.
Can I change my favorite part to bow and arrow? Just bow and arrow.
The bow and arrow is really fun too.
Yeah. So
the snipers are just fun in general. I think
I
well. Just sniping people from really far away. And then biggest complaint. I mean, I already talked about that, and it's the same thing as Matt's. It's just how much is going on in the game.
Yeah.
At all times, it's just hard to have some peaceful moments. So.
Okay. So.
All right. And then we just want to talk about our bias or personal rating. Like, what would we rate the game?
Yeah. Damn, this is hard. I'm going to give it an 8, I think, personally.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Like I said, it's the best game I played this year, definitely. But it's not like the best game ever by any means, so.
I'm also going to go with an 8. It was definitely the best game I think I played this year up until I've played the more recent stuff that we haven't talked about on here yet, but yeah, it's really fucking good.
Okay, yeah.
So
that means my overall is a 40 out of 50. And Ron, I think yours is going to be
mine is too.
Okay, I'm gonna say yours might be as well. So
4 out of 5.
Yeah, so that's, I think, probably the highest rated game we've done.
8 out of 10. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so 4 out of 5, pretty good.
Bayonetta even was... Oh, Bayonetta 2 I gave a 41.
Interesting. Okay. So right along with Bayonetta 2. That's not bad. I think that's probably fair.
I think I agree with that, though, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. This game was really good. I'd recommend it. I would recommend it if you like any of the other Far Cry games, or just shooters in general.
Shooters in general, games. I think so. Yeah, I agree with those.
It's just very fun to just run around and do random shit in. So even if you don't really want to play the single player stuff, from what I hear, Arcade's really good. So
yeah, I haven't played. I can't recommend that. So
yeah,
because I didn't play it at all.
Okay. So next week we're going to have God of War. Not next week, but in 2 weeks. We're going to have a podcast on God of War, which will be very good. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Yep.
And I think 2 weeks after that we have another classic game. I think we did a Kong Country 2.
Yeah, Donkey Kong. Yep.
So that's what the schedule's looking like. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
That's things.
I guess I'd like to thank Tokyo Machine for letting us use their song Pixel at the beginning of the podcast, and the Fat Rat for letting us use the song Commodity that you're about to hear in the outro of the podcast.
Ooh.
You can follow us or like us or whatever on Facebook.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do. On Facebook at Rage Quitters Podcast, on YouTube at Rage Quitters, with a space in between Rage and Quitters, and then Twitter, our handle is Rage Quittercast. So.
Yep. And YouTube, as I think I said last week, I'm committing to a new episode every week, or a new gameplay video.
If you're gonna follow us on anything, follow us on YouTube, because we actually have content there. So
I've been making 2 more, I made 2 more videos this weekend. So there's some stuff to watch. I think it's just PUBG for now. But yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, see you.
Catch up.
Bye.